So today I'll be showing you all of my VIP laminates and also talking about my VIP experiences too. So yeah, I'll be going from oldest to most recent, and my first experience with doing VIP for a band was for As I Lay Dying. And this would be at the Knitting Factory, and basically they had us watch sound check, and then after sound check they would have us form a line and they would sign posters for each of us. And through all that, we got to also chat with them too. And then after everyone got their posters signed, they had us all go to the front of the stage after we got our poster signed. And then after everyone got their poster done, they would walk over to us and then chat with each and every one of us. And through all that, I was able to get a selfie with Tim Lambesis, and that was definitely really cool. I also got to chat with Ryan Neff, if I got the name right. Of course, he's from Miss May I, but now he's with As I Lay Dying. Got to chat with him too. I don't remember if I chatted with the other band members. They might have just stuck with the other fans. I don't know, but all I remember was just chatting with Tim for a little bit and also chatting with, again, Ryan. But either way, VIP with As I Lay Dying, that was definitely really cool. Definitely really cool at the time. But that was basically it for VIP for As I Lay Dying. But moving on to the next laminate, we got POD, signed by Sonny and Trey and Marcus. And this would be at the Spokane Arena. POD would be supporting Korn for that tour. And with POD, with VIP, it started with them coming out to us and excuse me, and shaking each and every one of our hands and chatting with us. And then after the whole chatting thing, they had us line up for pictures, and then of course they would get to me and I would get my picture with the band. And then I remember after pictures I was chatting with Sonny for a little bit about Deftones. That was definitely really cool. It was hearing about favorite or least favorite album from them and all that good stuff. It's definitely cool to learn that Sonny's a big Deftones fan. But yeah, that was basically it when it came to VIP for POD. But yeah, it was really cool to meet them. But moving on, and this is from the same show, we got Korn. Sadly, with doing VIP for Korn, you don't get to meet the band. There was no meet and greet, which really sucks. But with their VIP package, you get general admission, so it was definitely cool to be on the floor for the Spokane Arena. And I was actually fairly close to, at least no more than 4 or 5 rows of people were in front of me. So again, I was fairly close, towards the left of the stage, if I remember correctly. But when it comes to the rest of the stuff in the VIP package, they mailed the rest to us, which is a tag kind of lame because we also had to wait for that stuff for a long time, like months. So that was pretty lame. But either way, it is what it is. I'm glad I finally got the stuff. I mean, one of the things that came with that VIP package was a signed poster, so that was definitely really cool to get. But yeah, it was worth doing once, but I probably won't do it again because nowadays, whenever I choose to do VIP or not, it usually depends on if there's going to be a meet and greet or not. If there's no meet and greet, then I'm usually going to skip it, because for me, VIP is worth it if you actually get to meet the band and also get a picture with them too. But moving on to the next laminate, we got Machine Head, VIP, Electric Happy Hour, Live 2022. So yeah, it started off with us watching them do sound check and then form a line for signing a poster. And this was also at the Knitting Factory. But I remember during the signings, I got a fist bump from Rob Flynn because he liked the shirt that I was wearing. I was wearing a Prong shirt, which had the artwork from their album Cleansing on it. And if you're not familiar with Prong or the Prong album Cleansing, definitely check it out, especially if you like Machine Head or even Pantera, or if you just like the more groovy side of metal, then again, definitely check out Prong. But yeah, after the signings, they would have us form a couple lines for pictures. One line to get a picture with Rob Flynn, then another line to get a picture with Jared. And of course, I did both, and that was basically it when it came to doing VIP for them. But yeah, again, it was definitely really cool to meet Rob Flynn. During the signings for the posters, I also got them to sign my long box of their last album of Kingdom and Crown. But yeah, moving on, we got Anthrax, and this was in Seattle at the Paramount Theater, and that was my first and only time that I've been there. But yeah, with Anthrax, I'm trying to remember. I think pretty much, yeah. I think it straight up just started with them doing signings. With me, they signed my copy of For All Kings and my copy of XL. And then after signings, they would have us form a line for pictures, and eventually they got to me, and I would get my picture with the band. And then after our pictures, they would have us collect our signed poster and our signed set list. But yeah, that was definitely really cool, and that was basically it when it came to VIP for Anthrax. But I never would have thought I'd ever get a chance to meet Scott Ian, of all people. I mean, that's definitely one of those guys that you pretty much see in almost every metal documentary. And again, never would have thought I'd ever see the guy in person, let alone be that close too. Because again, even also during the show, I was fairly close too. I was right at the front towards the right side of the stage. So I was basically in front of Scott Ian most of the time, and I remember Joey going to my side of the stage a lot too. So yeah, that whole experience, seeing Anthrax and meeting them, definitely really awesome. Moving on to the next one, we got Static X VIP, and this would be at the Knitting Factory. And this time, their VIP thing would start after the show, like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes after the show. I can't remember, but either way, not a whole lot. They would just hand us all of our stuff that would come with the package, and then after that, you would be able to meet Tony, Koichi, and Ken. I didn't do the package where you got to meet Zero. I only did the package where you get to meet, again, Tony, Koichi, and Ken. But yeah, I got them to sign my copy of Wisconsin Death Trip. And then after that, we would do our picture, and that's basically it. But yeah, it's definitely really cool to meet Static X, and it's cool that that's the classic lineup too. But yeah, Static X, definitely really awesome. And I'll be meeting them again in May with Sevendust, and I'm also doing VIP for Sevendust too. So yeah, definitely really excited for that show. But moving on to the next one, we got 3 Days Grace Explosions. And this was at the arena, Spokane Arena, and these guys were supporting Shinedown, and I believe From Ashes to New was the opening band. So yeah, 3 Days Grace was in the middle. But yeah, 3 Days Grace for VIP, you get a signed card or picture thing, and then also a pouch bag thing, and then they would have us form a line and for pictures, and of course they would get to me and I would get my picture, and then after pictures we would move on to the Q&A, which would be the final thing for the VIP experience. And I believe my question was, I think my question was, what are some songs in the 3 Days Grace catalog that you feel are somewhat kind of overlooked or underrated? All right, man, my question was along the lines of that, and I remember most of the members were saying the song No More from Life Starts Now, which definitely put a smile on my face, because that song is one of my personal favorites from Life Starts Now, and I do think, again, it actually is pretty underrated. But yeah, that was basically it when it came to VIP for 3 Days Grace, and yeah, it was definitely really cool to meet them at the arena. But moving on to the next laminate, we got Death Angel. So yeah, with Death Angel, this would be at the Showbox in Seattle, and VIP for them took place basically in the parking lot, and started with them just chatting with each and every one of us, walking up to each of us and chatting with us and signing stuff. In the case for me, they signed my laminate, and they also signed my copy of The Evil Divide and my copy of Humanicide. So yeah, it's definitely really cool of them to do that. And yeah, after the signings and chatting with them, they would move on to pictures, and I would get my picture with the band, and that was basically it. After pictures, they would go ahead and let us go. But then an hour or two later, we would move on to VIP with Sepultura and Creator. Creator and Sepultura would be doing VIP together. But yeah, this would be the same show, and yeah, an hour or two later, we'd do VIP for them. They'd have us form a line, and the band members would be at tables, and I believe the first table was Creator. So with Creator, they signed this side of the laminate, and they also signed that poster right there, that red one right there, and they had also signed my copy of Hate Uber Alice. And then moving to the next table would be the Sepultura members, and they signed this side of the laminate, of course, and also that poster, and they also signed my copy of Quadra. And then after everyone got their things signed, again, they would have us all be in a line and for pictures. And the bands we didn't do a picture with each band. The members of both bands were all together, and we just did a whole group picture, and that was definitely really awesome. I do love both bands, and that was it when it came to VIP for them, for both bands. It was definitely a really cool experience. Definitely really cool to meet 3 bands at one show. I mean, Death Angel, Creator, Sepultura, I mean, that's killer, especially if you're a thrash fan. I mean, come on, that's just awesome right there. But moving on to the next one, we got 3 Days Grace. And this would be at Northern Quest, or the Pavilion, the Northern Quest Pavilion, whatever it's called, but excuse me, but either way, let's see here. I believe, yeah, it started with the signings first, and I didn't bring anything, so I just had them sign the laminate. And then after signing, they would have us do pictures with the band, and then after pictures, they would have us all sit down and for the Q&A. And for this Q&A, I asked them each, what is each of you your favorite Deftones album? And yeah, Neil said Around the Fur, and let's see. I believe Brad said White Pony, and Matt also said White Pony. And then Barry just said yep, so I'm assuming he's not a Deftones fan. I don't know, I could be wrong, but that's basically all he said, was just yep. And that was basically it when it came to the Q&A. But yeah, it was definitely really cool to meet 3 Days Grace again, let alone meet them twice in 1 year. I mean, that was definitely really awesome. But yeah, moving on to the next laminate, we got Saint Asonia, and yeah, fairly straightforward. You collect your stuff at a table, and then they would have us form a line for pictures. Then eventually they got to me, and yeah, in the case for me, I had the band sign my copy of the Introvert/Extrovert CD, and I also got Matt to sign, not Matt, I also got Adam to sign all my 3 Days Grace CDs, of course, just the Adam albums, and that was definitely really cool of him to do. And it was really cool to just get a chance to tell Adam, thank you for all the music, and mentioning, of course, how long I've been a fan, and just basically thanking him for all the great music, and it was just really awesome to meet him in person, because I mean, I've been a fan of him for over a decade, maybe a decade and a half. Actually, no, maybe a little. Well, I don't want to get too technical, but again, either way, over a decade, I've been a fan of his music, and again, definitely really cool that he's still making music to this day. But yeah, meeting Saint Asonia was definitely really cool. Now for the final laminate, we got Bush. So yeah, we got a bunch of stuff, including a signed vinyl, but then we got to pictures, and yeah, got to me, and I was able to get Gavin to sign my copy of 16 Stone, and then I would get my picture with the band, and that was it. But yeah, it was cool to meet Bush. I mean, Bush, they're not one of my all-time favorites or anything, but again, it was still really cool to meet the band. But that was the last show that I had last year, but yeah, those are my VIP laminates. Those are my stories. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below and all the good stuff. But anyways, thanks for watching. Please leave a comment to like, subscribe. Have a nice day and take care.